Hello, Simi here, the Riley Sucker here, another Vauxhall Vivaro here to look at. It's going to be probably the same sort of job, but we'll go through this one as a Vauxhall, just because I know some people can't find the videos when they're looking under it as a Vauxhall Vivaro. So we'll do the scan as a Vauxhall on this one. I like to do it as a Renault Trafic, it's a little bit easier, but we'll go through it now and I'll show you. Okay, so we're going to use the Launch UK Euro Tab 3, go to Intelligent Diagnose, and while that's loading up I'll show you what we're looking at. Engine failure hazard, engine management lights on. So you get all of the above there: engine failure hazard, check engine, check injection, and sometimes anti-pollution fault. Now I have a choice here to go in as a Renault, GM or Opel. Opel Vauxhall is the same, but it is a Renault Trafic, it's just a Vauxhall badge, so that's why the diagnostic system just isn't right. It's 2019 Vivaro and it has, can't see the mileage just yet. Go to health report, and we'll do ECM. I think it's this one and that one. I would just press the 8. Read default codes. P2002 particle filter efficiency, P2002, and a P0380 glow plug relay control circuit, which is going to be usual one of the glow plugs. If I was to guess, I'd say number 2 on a normal engine, but French count them backwards, so be number 3, wouldn't it? Oh, I didn't mean to clear that. Well, let's see if they have cleared. Just wanted to go back. I didn't want. No, they haven't cleared anyway. No, don't want to clear the code. Data stream. Engine after treatment data. Pressure sensor. Soot accumulation. What if we got 2? Let's just click 2 of them if we have 2. Engine speed, exhaust pressure. I don't know if the exhaust pressure is the right, so we have 67 millibars or HPA. I haven't got the choice for millibars there. 62 grams of soot. Exhaust back pressure, is that the exhaust back pressure? 1600. If it is, it's a bit high. So it's staying at 1750. So this is using the Vauxhall stuff. Now if we look for upstream pressure sensor, we can't find it on here, which I'm guessing it is the exhaust pressure sensor they call it, but on the Renault they call it a turbo upstream pressure sensor. Let's have a look if we have anything to do with the turbo induction. Boost pressure, desired boost pressure. No, so we don't have, not that I can see. Well, this boost pressure. Now let's go back here and we'll pick this as a Renault. I'll just show you how much easier it is, like as you go in as a Renault. I think I should have went back further because we've still got Opel in the corner. Have we? Is it going to ask me to pick? I can't remember how far back it was. No, we're still in the Opel system. Let's just start again. Now we're back here. We'll go into as a Renault. Diagnostic. Automatic search. Now it won't ask me to pick what sort of engine it's got, because it seems to be just more accurate when you do it as a Renault. It just knows. High speed scan. Okay, battery disconnection, all sorts of faults there for that. Probably had a battery removed or flat. Particle filter outside tolerances. So these are the different codes that we get as a Renault. So if we enter that, go to data stream, everything is just a little bit more easy to find here. We can find upstream pressure, up to turbine, engine speed. Now sometimes this isn't always accurate. Yeah, we've got 1750. Something wrong with that sensor, I think. Let's have a look if we turn it off. So if we turn that off, we should have sort of 1050 millibars, which is atmospheric pressure. No, we're not. We're getting 1400. So yeah, that reading's definitely off. That's not the atmospheric pressure. With the engine off, we should only be reading atmospheric pressure. Now if we look at these charts, again, this is not always accurate, because what I do notice with these is even if you unplug that upstream pressure sensor, the ECU will revert back to the manifold absolute pressure sensor and it will still give you the reading. And then the reading will be accurate when you remove the sensor. So let's go up. So a little bit of a delay, but we have a reading of too high. We should only have about idle. We should only have about 1300 on that. So there's an issue there. I'm pretty sure I've got some sensors in the van. We'll have a look at in a minute. We've already spoke about the DPF, the pressure within the DPF, DIFF, particle filter pressure, and soot. It's just handy to compare, you know, both from different sides of the diagnostic as a Renault and as a Vauxhall. Me myself, I just prefer doing it as a Vauxhall, but I know some people would be looking for the codes and the fault relating to a Vauxhall Vivaro, not a Renault Trafic. So you can see now the sensor's got 1391 millibars. If we unplug that, let me just try and get my hand down there. Unplug that. Drops down to 980, which is about atmospheric pressure, around 1000, maybe 1040 maximum. So now if I plug in this sensor that I've got from my van, click that in, we've got 988, and without it we've got 984, so that's more accurate than that one. So this is the one I've removed now from the van. I just pulled it out from down there and I've just connected up my one. So now I've got a pressure gauge connected up, and surprisingly it's not blocked. But the customer said he did watch one of my videos and attempt to unblock it himself, so he must have succeeded in that. But what he has also done is he's cleaned out this with obviously fluids and little picks, where you can damage these if you clean them, so you're always better off just buying a new one of these. Okay, so I've got this kit here from Launch UK, which is the DPF cleaning fluid and the gun. I'm going to get this mixed up. I'm going to half fill this with the fluid, and then we'll half fill the rest just with some plain water. So now I've got the compressor here hooked up, engine is running, squeeze the trigger and we connect that down there to that hose pipe. So we're going to get all of this foam sprayed into the DPF. We're just going to hold the trigger until all of the fluid's gone. You can hear the compressor kicking in down there. Set it at 130 psi. And then once we're done with this, we can then have a look at the glow plugs, which are down there. Okay, now all of that fluid's gone in. Just give it a minute with the engine running, just to let any of the fluid come back out. I'm going to disconnect this hose that I've got on that sensor, and we'll get this connected now back down. Okay, we're back in the van now. We'll just try and do one more fault code clear. Let's see what codes have come up. So I've cleared temporarily. Go back to the data stream. Okay, now if we start the engine up, we can see we've got 981, and then we got around about 1300 millibars. exactly what I was expecting. So we're going to hold the revs now up at 3000 RPM until we can get this DPF cleared out. Now we're just holding the revs at 3000 RPM. Just going to watch the pressure here. It's really hard to get the revs to stay in one place, but we get the rough idea there. Let's try and change that to millibars and go back to the graph. Or if we got the revs, keep the revs up a little bit higher. So where do I want to see these numbers? I want to see these numbers down around 50 to 60 millibars if I can, and under 10 at idle. So we're coming down. This was at 500 at 550 at 3000 RPM just a minute ago. See there, we're coming down. No, we're not anywhere near where we need to be just yet. We're heading in the right direction. It's just really hard to hold the revs steady on these vans. So we've got it down around the 80, mid 80s there, which is, it's not really good enough yet. I know we're under 100, but really like to see these are really sensitive, these ones. If you don't get them down around 60, it's not much good. And we can see the grams of soot there are starting to reduce. Okay, so if we look at this live data that I'm looking at here, we went down to 11 grams of soot. On a short test drive here, it's climbed back up to 16. Now the van has triggered a regen to try and bring that soot loading back down again. So what I do think is what we have here is the DPF is beyond cleaning, because the pressure is coming down close to where it needs to be, like I said, but it's not coming down low enough, so the van is triggering a regen every time you drive it. Now if we have a look at this, keep an eye on the soot. It's regenerating at the moment. Now these vans will regen stationary if you hold the revs up. But if we look here, we can see that the soot, even though it's regenerating, the soot is actually increasing. If we hold the revs up at 3000 RPM, pressure's actually increased again a little bit. So I think the DPF is damaged on this van. Let's let that idle down. So the van has done 2 regens now in the space of the 2 test drives I've done. Soot loading is increasing fast, and the idle there is still at 20 millibars. Of course that's on regen pressure, so that will lower, but it don't look like we're going to go below 10 millibars. So unfortunately for this van, it's going to need a new DPF, but 9 times out of 10 this procedure here that I've done is a fix. And well, just show you anyway, this video just this is probably a good video to show people who don't understand why the fault keeps coming back. I keep seeing this problem all the time. People have the DPF cleaned and it comes back and they don't know why. The pressure just hasn't come down good enough, so the DPF is damaged and it's going to need a replacement. So see you in the next video.